The birth of a god, the Dark King, and the Emperor's ascension. To understand the threat of the Dark King, we must first look at the nature of the Chaos Gods, also known as the Ruinous Powers. They are titanic entities, formed from psychic energy in the dimension known as the Warp, or the Immaterium. They are like continents in a vast psychic ocean, born from the concentrated emotions and souls of sentient beings. Before the rise of many civilizations, the Warp was calm. But as races began to kill, lie, rot, and indulge, the Big Four emerged. Khorne, the god of rage, war, and martial honor. Tzeentch, the god of trickery, change, and ambition. Nurgle, the god of plague and decay, but also of life and rebirth. Slaanesh, the lord of excess and pleasure, the last of the four, born from the fall of the Eldari. Can a new chaos god appear? Yes. A prime example is Malice, originally known as Malal, the hierarch of anarchy and terror. He represents chaos's tendency towards self-destruction. He is a parasite. His power grows as the other chaos gods get stronger. His colors are black and white, and his number is 11. He is the outcast god, so hated by the others that he can even be summoned into real space, a feat the Sons of Malice chapter attempted. The Dark King is the theoretical fifth chaos god, an entity destined to equal or surpass the four. The Eldari have long feared this. In a tense dialogue, Eldrad Ulthran warns that humanity is repeating the same dance that led to the Eldari's ruin. While Eldrad initially feared the Dark King would be Horus Lupercal, infused with the combined might of the four, the truth was far more terrifying. During a Harlequin performance, a solitaire reveals the role of the one yet to be born. That role was not for Horus. It was for the Emperor of mankind. During the Siege of Terra, the Emperor realized that to slay a Horus bloated with warp might, he needed more power than a mortal, or even a perpetual, could hold. He began to draw massive amounts of energy directly from the warp. Proconsul Sekaltis, a custodian, witnessed this transformation. The Emperor became a silhouette of blinding alabaster light, hotter than a newborn star. This white fire was so intense it vaporized the encroaching demons instantly. But it also incinerated the Emperor's own guardians. Their souls turned to smoke and their bodies to ash. The Emperor was no longer a man or a perpetual. He was ascending. He was becoming the Dark King, an absolute entity that would eventually devour the galaxy to satisfy its infinite hunger. While Malkador the Sigillite watched in horror from the Golden Throne, it was Ollanius Persson, the first perpetual and the Emperor's oldest friend, who stood in the way. Oll challenged the Emperor through the mind of the dying Sekaltis. Oll argued that all the Emperor's miracles were tainted by impatience, quick, violent solutions to complex problems. The line crossed. He pointed out that the Emperor was becoming the very thing he spent millennia fighting. Oll warned that if the Emperor ascended, it wouldn't matter if he beat Horus. Mankind would perish, and the warp would turn into a screaming madness for millions of years. "You are a man who has done everything," Oll said. "I am a man who has done nothing. But I have patience, and you do not. Stop. Find another way." In a moment of supreme willpower, the Emperor listened. He heard the truth in his old friend's words. He cast aside the godlike power he had gathered. The strength of the Dark King shattered and dissipated back into the Immaterium. The mirror-black sphere of the potential god cracked, and the prophecy was forced back into the box of myths, at least for one more age. The Emperor chose to face Horus as a man rather than a god of chaos. Although the birth of the Dark King was averted on that day, the ruinous powers claim his arrival is still inevitable. In the warp, where time is non-linear, the Dark King's servants and his shadow already exist. The galaxy may have been saved from the Dark King in the 31st millennium, but in the grim darkness of the 42nd millennium, the threat still looms over the Golden Throne.